Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jung-yeok.
손민지, 박경희.
We'd like to introduce you all about the story of Gildong-hong. Our presentation will begin with a role play and about the book and the author, Kingdom of Yudo and how it relates to Utopia of Joseon, Utopia nowadays, and end with the conclusion.
Gildong was the second son of Minister Hong. He was a brilliant man, but because he was a son of concubine, he couldn't call his father a father and his brother a brother even if he wished so. One night, Gildong was suddenly attacked by an assassin when he was sleeping. However, he escapes and attacks him back and kills the assassin with his magical art. Gildong is surprised that he killed somebody and decides to leave home.
Sir, it is not safe for me to stay here. There are people trying to kill me. Luckily I saved my life, but I decided to leave.
Who are the people that try to kill you?
You will soon know when the sun rises.
So, where are you planning to go to?
Wherever it takes, sir.
You once wished to call me a father and your brother a brother, right?
Yes.
Now, you may well do so.
Thank you, Father.
Gildong leaves home and arrives at a place where there is a huge stone gate.
Wow! What is this place?
Who are you?
My name is Gildong-hong.
Gildong-hong? Anyway, how did you get here? Did you open the gate over there?
Yes, it was a piece of cake.
That's amazing! We were choosing a boss, but our strength were all about the same, so we couldn't choose one. If you lift this stone, we will elect you as our boss. Oh, never mind, strain our general. We planned to let the man who will lift this stone be our boss.
Okay, well, I don't have a place to go, so I will be with you people. But you must follow 3 rules. First, don't touch the properties of the poor. Second, don't murder anyone. And third, when you're doing the right thing, don't bury your life.
The crew of bandits are now well trained and are continuing to wait the corrupt officials.
Your Highness, the officials of all around the world are complaining about the things that Gildong-hong is doing. He is raiding the officials all around the nation.
Is that so? Bring Gildong-hong's father, Mr. Hong, and his brother, In-hyun Hong, and tell them to catch Gildong and bring them to here.
Your Majesty, he is caught. He's caught again.
What happened?
He appears a lot.
Find and catch real Gildong right now! What do you think we should do? I think I should give him a position in the government. Charlie, that I will give a position in our palace.
Your Majesty, now I have accomplished my goal, which is getting a position. In the government, even though I was born as a son of a concubine, I will live. Thank you very much, and may the odds be in your favor.
What do you mean, you will leave?
I have already thought about that. Don't worry. I won't make your feelings untidy, so be relieved.
Okay, bye.
Bye, land of Joseon, my home. Bye until the day I return.
Gildong and his crew landed on the island of Jeju. It was a nice place, however, the island was too small and they decided to invade the kingdom of Yudo. Original citizens of Yudo resisted, but after their general, In-hyun Kim died. The surrendered and Gildong's crew could take the kingdom of Yudo over without seeing animal blood.
Majesty, may your presence be outside. Your people are waiting.
I am overwhelmed with emotions. I was born as a son of a concubine, but I am now a king of a nation.
May you full of your light be full of longevity, Your Majesty.
I will introduce about 홍길동전. This book was written by Hyeogyun in Joseon. Story of 홍길동 hope to stay criticism of bad bazaar and government. It is so that Giltong left Joseon and make his utopia Yuldogu. Also, Story of 홍길동 was the first Hangul fiction and society fiction. There are some examples of Hangul fiction. Story of 춘향, 신청, 흥부, 장황홍양. They were the writers of most stories, and they were popular among people. Readers bought the book and read books to people. Through this story, Hangul fiction was generalized, and it is the most important in literature. And I will introduce about Hyeogyun. He was a writer of Joseon. Since he was young, he started learning Hangul and he could write a poem. He ran writing poem by Yu Seong-yong and he died. Hyeogyun was worried about going to the country to fight corruption, being afflicted with African national crisis. He will curb politics and practically tried to reform the system. Frustrated. Then through all over the world and other Yuldogu, using Hangul was dedicated to the story of 홍길동. His achievement is to practice equal society, open society. The International Society has already proposed that the right direction of a democratic society 400 years ago. Also, he was famous for strategy. But he was killed by Yi-Chong at Bazaar. Maybe he wanted to get king out and make new liberty country. Also, Hyeonan is famous for his sister. He learned about poem by Ida too. When he was young, he was really brilliant and smart. 15 years old, he married Kim Song-ri. But her marriage has frequently a problem. During that hot marriage, he wrote a lot of poems. He wrote 유선사, 빈영은, 곡자, 공선화가, all 200 poems. Afterwards, her poem book was carried to Myeong by Hyeogyun.
We had a role play about the story of Giltong, and in the story, a country named Yuta appears. So now we wish to present you about the kingdom of Yuta, the utopia of Joseon. Before the kingdom of Yuta, Giltong and his organization lived in an island of Jeju. They found this place after leaving Joseon. There was a primary rule there in Jeju, and it was that people who work can be the owners of the land. So everyone worked hard, and therefore the land was abundant and fertile. People were well organized and followed Giltong's orders. They practiced martial arts and sharpened it. When enemies tried to take over Jeju, Giltong and his crew could fight against them and win. Captives which were caught were medicated and accepted as their citizens. However, population increased and the island of Jeju was not too small for all of them to live in. So they decided to find a bigger island, and that was a country of Yuta. There were some violent actions when they took the island, but they fought in order. They had funerals for the dead, medications for the hurt, supervised the enemies, and took control of the weapons they stole from their enemies. After winning the fight against the general Hyun Jun Kim, king of Yuta surrendered, and the war ended without more death. When Giltong became the king of Yuta, he released the citizens of Yuta and shared official positions to both original citizens and his organization members equally. Finally, now to discuss the main issue. The reason we think the kingdom of Yuta as utopia of people is that there are no thieves, no beggars. It was always abundant with food, and most of all, there were no wars and accidents, meaning it was a truly peaceful place. These kinds of elements are the things that people of the time want. For example, most people who were farmers wanted abundant and fertile land and food. And that kind of hope appears as an element that country of Luther has.
Well, how about utopia nowadays? How do people think about utopia? Our country went through the hard times and lots of changes. So, people's thought about the utopia has been different with the past peoples. I'd like to tell you about changed perspective of utopia. First of all, most people would like to live in a world with smooth internet connection. These days, we cannot imagine our world without internet or communication. In the internet, speeds and information are the best things among all kinds of conditions. People wish their electronic devices to become faster. Piece together all those things, we thought internet vitalization is necessary in our utopia. Next, our utopia has to possess fresh and pleasant nature. More than 90% of countries in the world, they don't have clean air or refreshed water. Global warming and environmental pollution are the reason of that. Therefore, people which are located near the equator, they are endangered being sunk under the ocean. And weather is going to be strange than now. So, peaceful nature is really needed in our ideal world, utopia. And last, living for a long time without any diseases may be a dream for everyone. Our society has made numerous accomplishments at the science field. Thanks to scientists, we can live very long time if we keep our body healthy. But still, our technology can find out and cure all kinds of illness. In our utopia, there is no diseases that people are not able to heal. Now, compared with Joseon's, utopia nowadays has more elements than past. The more people grow, the more society becomes variety. We are living in the world which acknowledges and respects diversity. In here, diversity means how many utopia these people have. Everyone's ideal world is different. Then, what is your utopia in your mind? Thank you for listening to our team presentation.